We've now made it all the way down to Module 13, and in this particular module we're going to talk about sorting and filtering. This is great when you have longer lists that you're working with because you're going to be able to go through the list, you're going to be able to go through and remove any duplicates you might have, you're going to be able to sort the data, you might want to sort it alphabetically, numerically, by date, and then there might be certain data that you do want to see and other data that you don't, so you can go through and filter out that data. I want to show you in this module how all of this stuff works. We're going to start right now with section 1, and I'm going to show you how to remove the duplicates when you have longer list of data that you're working with. One of the things that will happen when you're working with a longer list like this is you might end up with duplicates for various reasons. It could be that you typed someone in twice accidentally. It could be that you maybe exported some data from another software program and when you brought it over, it duplicated it. There's a lot of different reasons why you might end up with duplicates. One of the things you can do is have Excel find those duplicates for you, and that way you can get those out of here. You can actually delete them. Now, before we actually start working with this, let's talk for a little bit about how files like this should be set up properly in order to remove duplicates, sort, and filter. The first thing you'll notice is that on row 4 here, these are the headers for each of your columns. We call this your header row. One of the things that has to happen with your header row is that it has to have one format that's different from the data below. If it doesn't, what will happen is when you go to sort, it will sort the headers in with the list, and you don't want it to do that. Capital letters don't count, okay? It has to be something like a different font size, a different font, different color, things like that. So that's the first thing, is you've got to have a header row. The second thing is no blank rows in your table. If you have a blank row, it will stop. It won't know that there's anything below it. You can have blank cells, like you'll see a few of those here, but no entirely blank rows. The other thing is when you start typing your data in, you want your data to be consistent. And what I mean by that is if you're typing 40 here and then you type in another cell FORTY, those two are not the same. You need to actually be consistent. Do you want the numbers or do you want the actual text? So just keep those things in mind when you're working in these different lists like this. Let's get on to talking about removing your duplicates. What I want to do first is let's go ahead and sort column A, and that's going to be a quick way that we can bring our eye to the duplicates. A quick way to do this is click anywhere inside the table. As long as you're under row 4, then it'll be fine. All you have to do is go to your Data tab, and you'll see this button here is your Sort Smallest to Largest. We'll go ahead and click on that. And now you'll see it's sorted by this number over here. Now that it's sorted, I can see I've got a couple of duplicates. There's Sarah. Let's see if we've got anyone else down here. It looks like we're going to have a couple of them. I think here's Christina. She's at row 68 and 69 there. And there's going to be several more in here as well. It's kind of hard to go down the list and eyeball this because we've got a lot of these and it's very time consuming. Let's have Excel do this for us. Now before we do this, let's see how many rows of information we have. We have 104. All right, let's go back up to the top. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually be clicked in the particular column that I want Excel to look for the duplicates in. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and go to the Data tab. And you're going to see right over here where the Data Tools grouping is, there's a button that says Remove Duplicates. I'm just going to click on that. And you'll notice it selected the table for me. And also notice that these are all of my column headings. If you ever come in here and it says column A, column B, column C, then you'll know it didn't recognize your headers. But ours did in this case, and notice that it looks like it's going to look through all of the columns of information. What I'm going to do is unselect all, and I'm going to have it look in the number column, and I'm going to click OK. And you'll see it says there were 11 duplicates, and it went ahead and removed them. That leaves 91 that are unique values. Let's go ahead and look down this list and see how many rows of information we have now. And it looks like we have 94, so 11 of these are actually gone. It went ahead and deleted them. That's a great way to go ahead and have Excel remove those duplicates. Now here's the thing. Excel did a great job, but I didn't get to see which ones were actually duplicated because maybe they really weren't. Maybe they had the wrong number over there. I want Excel to actually show me which ones are duplicates, and then I can choose to delete them or not. Let me go ahead and undo, and that should bring back all 104 rows, and it did. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and put a blank column in here to the right of column A. So I'll just right click on B and say Insert. And I'll make this a little wider so we can see it here. What I'm going to do is write a little formula that will tell Excel to put the word duplicate anywhere that it sees that column A has a match. Now I'm going to write a formula that's a little more advanced than we are right now, but that's okay. Later on we'll kind of go through this. But this is what's called an if statement. We're going to tell Excel that if these two are duplicates, go ahead and write the word duplicate. All I'm going to do is go to the Home tab. I'm going to use my insert function, and remember I could also get to this from the formulas tab if I wanted. I could use insert function here. I'm going to look for if in this list. I'll just click here and type I to get down there. I'll click OK. And here's what I'm going to do. An if statement basically has three parts to it. It has a test, what to do if the test is true, and what to do if the test is false. Now, what I'm going to have it do here is I'm going to say if this equals this. So that's going to be my test. Tell me if that's true. If it is, I'm going to have it put the word duplicate here. If it's not, I'll just have it return a 0. Now let's click OK and we'll see how many duplicates we actually have. I'm going to actually copy this all the way down. And let's see how many it came up with. There you go. There's several of them. This one's a duplicate. That one's a duplicate. There's another duplicate right there. Perfect. Now I can look through these if I need to, because it could be that the number's wrong, but the data's right in the rest of the columns. You would have to look through each one of these to make sure. That's a great way to have Excel find your duplicates for you. Why don't we go ahead now and go over into section 2, and we'll talk a little bit about sorting your data.